What's going on, everyone? Mitesh here, and I finally got my hands on it. The Pixel 4a. This is the phone that I've been excited to check out since the beginning of this year. I was not sent this out by Google. I finally got my hands on it after pre-ordering it last week, and I've had it for about a week. And I gotta tell you guys, this is like the easiest budget Android phone to recommend right now. And it's just because Google got so much right with this phone. So today I'm gonna be telling you guys about 5 things that Google got right with this phone that makes this the easiest phone to recommend. Let's talk about it. All right, so we're gonna start off by talking about the thing that Google gets right with almost all of their phones, and that is updates. So updates are things that Android budget phones basically never get. If you buy a budget Android phone, you should never expect the software on it to change. Yes, you may be lucky, you'll buy one from a reputable manufacturer who'll give you one update one time. That is the best you can hope for. But with Google, you get 3 years of updates and you get monthly security updates. So that is something that Google has always gotten right. And with the Pixel 4a, 3 years of updates, that's crazy good. This phone is going to be good for at least 3 years. So that's fantastic. Google getting updates right. I mean, it's a predictable win for Google, but that is something that they get right with their phones. And I think that is something we should applaud them for. So that is something that makes this phone easier to recommend over other and budget Android phones. So updates, huge part of it. Now, the other thing that makes this phone a little bit easier to recommend is the screen on here. So the screen on here is a 5.8-inch OLED display, and that is great. You don't really get OLED displays at this price point, so it's really great to see here at this price. Now, I know some people are gonna want a bigger screen, but I think the 5.8-inch, I think it's a good size. Like, it fits super comfortably in hands, and the phone really does feel just absolutely great in hand. But yeah, I know some people are gonna want bigger screens. Sadly, you don't have that option this year. Last year they had it. This year they just stuck with this one SKU, and I think this is a good size for people who just need a phone to do the things. Like, it's a good viewing experience still on this, and especially that hole punch notch. Like, this is something that the Pixel 4 doesn't have, and I gotta tell you guys, I really like the hole punch notch. I think it looks really good, and I wasn't sure how much I was gonna like it more than I like the clean face on the Pixel 4, but I think I like this better. I honestly am happy that the Pixel 5 is gonna go this route because it's a nice little cutout, and you get much more screen real estate. Like, it just looks super clean. So yeah. The display on here, fantastic. That's another thing that Google got right over other budget manufacturers who usually put in LCD displays at this price point. Now, the third thing that Google got right with this phone is the fact that along with that beautiful display, they have dual speakers on this phone. Like, I can't tell you how many Android manufacturers is throwing in a single bottom firing speaker and think that's good enough. That is not good enough. I'm talking to you, TCL, specifically. Guys, you guys have put a beautiful screen on your phone and then you put a single bottom firing speaker. Google put a really nice screen on here, and they put a bottom firing speaker along with the front speaker, which amplifies when you're listening to videos and stuff. And I'll admit, it's not the best dual speaker arrangement I've heard. The bottom speaker definitely gets much louder than the front one, so that part is not great, but I'll be honest, it's still better than most bottom firing speakers. So I still consider this a win in terms of what you're getting here. And you're also getting a headphone jack, something that you really don't see that much these days, except for on budget Android phones. So it's awesome. You get dual speakers and you get a headphone jack. Like, audio-wise, this thing is on point. Now, the fourth thing that I think Google got right with this phone is the 120 gigabytes of storage. Now, that is not that big of a win for Google because most Android phones these days are coming with 120 gigabytes of storage, but the fact that Google's doing it is kind of a big deal because they've stuck with 64 gigabytes since the Pixel 4. Like, 64 gigabytes at this point is just not enough. You need 120 gigabytes because games and stuff just have gotten way bigger, and you need the space. You need the space, especially for the next reason. Number 5 thing that they got right is, of course, the camera. The camera on here is the same Pixel camera you know from every other Pixel phone. It's fantastic. Now, there's only a single camera, but I've said this before and I will say it again. A single great camera is much better than a whole bunch of mediocre cameras. Like, I will use this single back-facing camera so much more because I know I can trust it over mediocre cameras where I have to decide how I want the composition to be. Like, it's great having an ultra-wide or a telephoto lens, but I would much rather take just a single great shooter over multiple lenses any day of the week. So yeah. The camera on here is, of course, Pixel level. It is fantastic. I will be doing a comparison with my Pixel 4 and a Pixel 3, so you guys can see the differences between the photos and videos that are taken with this phone. But yeah, Cameras, Pixel phones, you know they're gonna get them right. Just like with updates, this is basically a guarantee with Pixel phones. So yeah, in my opinion, these 5 things make this like the easiest Android phone to recommend right now, if for anybody on a budget. If you don't have a budget, obviously there are much better Android phones you can get for $1,000 or $1,300 or $1,400, whatever the Note 20 Ultra is worth. But for anybody who's on a budget, which for so many people whose incomes have been affected this year, this I think is the right phone for the right time. So yeah, this is still just my first impressions of it. Like I said, I'm gonna be doing a more thorough review of this later on, but first impressions, this is such an easy recommend. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you guys want to see the camera reviews for this and the camera comparisons between this and the Pixel 4 and the Pixel 3 that I have. Definitely hit that subscribe button so you guys don't miss those videos. But with that, that's pretty much it for this video. Like this one if you liked it, subscribe if you guys loved it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.